right.
Well,
and it's real hair.
It is. One goal for all the candidates in tonight's Republican debates, bring more African-American voters into the party, they say.
That's right. Bishop E.W. Jackson is the founder and president of STAND. He's also a former Marine and a former candidate for lieutenant governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia. He joins us live from D.C. Good morning to you, Bishop.
Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. So what would you like to see tonight? Because I know there have been a lot of talk lately about race and the police and everything else. What's on your agenda?
Well, the Great Society programs and the war on poverty have been abject failures. I think Republicans have a message, and the message is get government out of the way, get the private sector involved. We've got corporations sitting on trillions of dollars in cash, not billions, but trillions in cash. How about investing some of that in the inner city? How about investing some of that in creating school choice opportunities for those poor parents and their children? And how about investing some of that in cultural renewal, having people taught not to abandon their children? Fathers, stay in the home, take care of your children, don't have babies before you're married, get a job, get an education. The kinds of things that were once bywords in the black community and unfortunately in the inner city, I think they've been lost.
Bishop, though, how do you express that as a Republican and not come across as harsh?
Well, look, I think addressing the problem shows that you care, Elizabeth. It shows that you're thinking about these issues. What Republicans have characteristically done is ignored the black community, acted like, well, we'll never get those votes. We don't care. But look, it's a social and moral and economic problem that's got to be addressed. And I think if they will do that in a sincere way without pandering, they'll get those votes.
What's interesting, too, is because two people deserve credit. Senator Rand Paul has done some work in the inner city immediately as he kicked off, and so does Governor Rick Perry. He said, I'm going to start trying to win over the black vote. So many times, I thought Stephen A. Smith put it perfectly about a month ago when he was addressing college students, and he said, as African Americans, Democrats have let you down. They take your vote for granted, and Republicans don't try for it. He goes, go out there and vote Republican. This way, people will have to earn your vote again. Do you buy that?
Brian, it's even worse than that. Look, unemployment is higher in the black community. Income is down in the black community. Violence is at an all-time high in many of these inner cities, including the president's own hometown. We've got a decline in the circumstances that most black people face in the inner city. The Democrats have not just ignored them, they have failed them miserably. And I think it's an opportunity for Republicans to step in and say, we care and we have some ideas that we think will work to make life better.
All right, Bishop, we want to ask you a little bit about this. There is a professor at Morgan State in Baltimore, a fellow by the name of Dr. Lawrence Brown, and he wrote in an editorial in Salon.com, claims that cops, the justice system, and jail cells are all weapons of mass destruction, and says white supremacy should be acknowledged. He says, quote, white America, you're killing us. Your law enforcement officers, your criminal justice systems, your jail cells are all weapons of mass destruction. If hashtag all lives matter, then white supremacy would be widely acknowledged, and white America would be working to repent for the legacies of violence against black and indigenous populations. What's your message to this professor?
Well, frankly, it's idiot professors like this that are killing the black community. Because instead of helping people to take responsibility for their own lives, look, I'm a pastor. I actually pastor a church. I've had members who have gone to jail, gotten out of jail. I've had members who reformed their lives and have built lives for themselves and families, and they didn't do it because somehow they overcame white supremacy. They did it because they decided that they wanted to do something for themselves. They wanted to be responsible people. And when we get that message out, we're going to see a transformation in the lives of people in the inner city. This stuff of blaming the system, blaming the white man, blaming everybody. How did I stay out of jail? How did my children stay out of jail? We're black. Well, because we're not out there doing things that cause us to come into the grips of the criminal justice system. Look, there are talented black people out there who can do marvelous things, but they keep hearing the excuse, you don't have any choice because they won't let you. Well, it's a lie. And pastors, frankly, have got to get the message out. God opens doors and no one can close them.
Bishop, has it gotten worse? If I talked to you 5 or 10 years ago, would you have been more optimistic than you are right now?
I would have been, because frankly, I think that this administration has compounded the problem. I think this president has not used the opportunity to go into these communities and say, let me show you how my wife and I succeeded. Let me show you how people around us have succeeded. Instead, they played the race card continually, even complained as if the most powerful people in the world are still victims. Well, if that's the case, these kids running around the inner city certainly see themselves that way, and we've got to break that stronghold.
All right.
Always a strong and heartfelt take. Bishop, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.